Yeah. So yesterday we saw about the statistics, right? So any doubts in that?
No doubts, but something you have stopped. I told you to stop, no? So
Yeah, that's the last. Go back to the slide.
yeah, maybe you're running some query. I stopped you yesterday.
Yeah. We covered only. Yeah, we ran all this, right? We ran all this. Whatever we are. We are about to run this diagnostic help stats ago. You want to show you this also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I think you stopped it on health statistics. You created statistics and shown health statistics. After that, I stopped you.
Okay. Continue. Let's give some time to see what's going on.
Have you connected again?
Connected again in the
Hello?
sense. Yeah, Manjuna. Connected again in the sense.
Okay. No, I don't know. It was disconnected and connected. I don't know.
Oh.
It's.
Is it okay? I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, maybe it's my network issue. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually suspended this VM last time. Usually I do a shadow.
Okay, okay.
That's what we saw. So we are seeing about the stats, right? Like why the stats is important, and so these show stats will give you the DDL information, like in which column or in the stats is collected, and help stats will give you the data demographics, like
Okay.
when the stats was last collected, right? So example was that. So this collect stats, what it will do. So if you have a stats already enabled, means if you already have the DDL on this table, right? So if you just simply run collect stats, so what it will do is it will automatically collect the stats on the columns defined in background. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you need not to give this again. You need not to give this data like collect statistics column.
Yeah, the statistics which are already taken
Different,
previously,
right?
it will
Whatever
take it only.
previous, yeah, what is previously defined, it will automatically collect. So
Okay, if
in
I defined
if
some 20 columns also means it will take this, all
yes,
of them, no?
yes, it will take all of them. So you need not to
Okay.
no, give this 20 columns details every time, right? Not to run all
Correct,
these 20
correct. Yeah.
columns.
Okay.
You can simply run collect stats on DB name on table.
Okay.
So it will automatically retrieve everything. So, we created the table under the virtual DB then. Stats. So, yeah. Top list stats yesterday. There is no stats on this. There is no stats because we dropped it yesterday for creating the sample stats. So let's create the sample stats. We take the column examples. Okay, employee, then stats on the column. Stats using sample have a 5%, 5%. The column, let's see. Employee number, let's add it on employee number. This. I will give the definition. Let's see the stats again of this table. Okay, so we have defined this stats then. We have defined the sample 5%. So what will happen whenever you run the stats next time, this will be running with 5% of sample data. Okay, so this sampling, as we saw earlier, this sampling, right? It will be helpful when you have huge data sets. Like if your table is very big, in that case, you need to be running it with the sample statistics. So instead of running it on the whole table, because it will be doing a full table scan and it will take hours to complete. Also, it will consume a lot of resources, making the system to be degraded. Since stats, right, it will consume more spool and CPU, so the other jobs might get impacted due to the performance issue. So to avoid all this, so we have the solution to be a sample statistics. Hello.
Ashwin?
Hello. Did not drop off.
Yeah, actually, I think it was disconnected. Maybe the network issue. Okay.
So
I connected.
Okay, which part is disconnected? It means we created the sample stats until that you were there. No? This part we just ran the sample, right? You were there. Yeah.
Okay. Collect study 5%.
Okay, let me recap then. Or else, anyway, we have the recordings that you can go back and see that. So,
Okay, fine. Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Sure. Okay, yeah, we can continue to the.
Yeah, I will just recap, not an issue. So we saw both these, right? So help and collect statistics. So this sample statistics is used when your table size is big and you have huge amount of rows. So we collect a sample, we define this sample.
But will that be useful?
Yes, it will be useful. Like if there is if the table is distributed among all the rows, it will be useful. This is actually the recommended method, because if you have a table of TBs and if you run a collect stats on it, right, so it will run for hours. Also, it will take more resources like CPU and spool, hence it will degrade the performance of the database. Like other sessions might get impacted. So to avoid all this, it's recommended to have a sample stats on a big table.
Okay.
So this is how we this is the statement, like collect stats using sample 5% on column on the table name.
Okay.
And then we'll move to this diagnostic help stats. So this will be useful when you do the performance tuning or something. So this, as I said earlier, this is not always the 100% working method. Like whatever suggested means, if we collect, that doesn't mean the explain will give you high confidence, but this is what the PE comes up with. So 50% it may work and 50% it may not work. So I will show you how to run this. So we need to enable this option and then we need to run the select. So let me do a simple select for our table.
Okay.
Diagnostic help stats on for session, and then let me do a select employee. Not sure whether it will give any suggestion. Let us drop the existing statistics.
Okay.
Let's try this here. So I'm going to drop the stats on this table. Stats, database name table position tags. Okay, now I explain here. Now this. You see here, this is the explain given. So if you see here, it is asking me to, is the screen visible or you want to increase the font? Good, fine.
I can see.
You can see it, right? Okay. So if you see this, this is the explained plan how it retrieves the data, and this step begin recommended stats for final plan. You can see here, right? So it is telling collect statistics on column department on this table. This will give you the high confidence. Why? Because so we have given the condition. Let me copy it maybe. So because we did the select on this department to be the filter where condition, right? So hence it is recommending collect the stats on this department column.
Okay.
So this will be helpful sometimes, and sometimes even if we collect the recommended one, it won't help much. So you need to split up the query, and you need to find out the right stats or columns. So what's that? Okay, so this is all about the stats. So, have any doubt on this? I will have the next one.
No.
Okay. So today we'll be seeing about the logging mechanisms in Teradata. Okay. So logging is it's a very important functionality. But without that, right, the flow won't be happening properly. Means that the data corruption, deadlock issues, all this will be avoided the logging mechanism. So logging of a database object, no, it's a mandatory thing in RDBMS to avoid multiple users, changing and accessing the data simultaneously, which will cause the data inconsistencies. So in other words, whenever a user is accessing or changing a data, the affected object, so it can be a database, it can be a table or a column or a row, right? The affected object are logged to ensure integrity. For each access of data, Teradata decides how granular the log must be and what type of activity the other users are logging. So it is automatically decided by Teradata. And if you want to increase the granularity of the log, you can do that manually by executing the command. So we'll be seeing that. And so which objects can be logged? Like you can log a database. You can place the log on a database, means all the objects under the database also will be logged. So no one will be not able to access the database in that case. So table level logs, view level logs, partition range logs, row hash logs. So row hash log is nothing but the you're logging only particular rows. So that is called as row hash logs. Okay, and there are 4 kind of logs in Teradata. First one is exclusive, second is write, third is read, fourth is access. Okay, so let's see about these logs in detail. And these logs can be applied on this level of objects like database, table, and row hash. Okay, Manjunath, you're there, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. So these are the different types of logs we saw earlier. So let's see in detail about this. So exclusive log now are placed on a database or table, and the object is going through a structural change. Like when you are modifying the structure, right? Then in that case, exclusive log will be placed on that object, and no other user will be able to access it until the log is released. So exclusive log restricts access to the object by any other user. And this log can also be explicitly placed using the locking modifier. Yeah, we'll be seeing what is this locking modifier coming slides. So exclusive being the highest priority of log. Okay, so when we have exclusive, no other logs can be happen on the table or object. Okay. The next one is the write log. So the write log happens when you do an insert, update, or delete operation. So the write log restricts the access by other users. The only exception is when the user is reading the data. Who are not concerned with the consistency, means we can say it as a dirty read. So when we have this write logs, then we can have explicitly have access log on this object, and we can read the data. But it's not 100% sure the data is consistent. We may or may not see the inconsistent data. You got it, right?
Okay.
So the next one is read log. So this is placed when you run a select request on the object. So the read log restricts access by users who require exclusive or write log. So when you have a read log, who are coming with the exclusive or write log request, that will be restricted. And coming to the access log, so as we saw earlier, we can have this log on the object explicitly. We can fire it through the query. So an access log permits the user to read an object that may already be logged for read or write. Okay, an access log does not restrict access by another user except when an exclusive log is required. So exclusive log, if you're going to have on object, then there shouldn't be any other log. So that is the rule.
Okay.
So again, when you have the access log, the data may not be consistent. So whenever Teradata logs a resource for a user, right? So the lifespan of the transaction log is forever or until the user releases the log. So mostly if you run a query on a big table, if you have a read log on that and it's running for hours, right? So in that case, until the until the operation is completed on that particular object, the log will be present. Like the first part will be placing the log and then reading the data. So until the operation is done, it will be placed. So in case if you have a ETL job which is running for 5 to 6 hours, so in that case the write log will be placed on the table until the job completes. So other users who are going to read any modification should be done on the table, any CR changes, that won't be happening until this is done.
Okay.
And so this is the granularity level like what a log will be applied, like in which operation. So if you can see here, if you are doing a select, right? So it can be done on row hash level or table level, right? So this table level will happen when there is a full table scan is going on, or when you have the non-unique second tables. So in that case, it will be a read log, okay, because you are doing a select. And when you are doing a update, so it can be also either row hash level or table level. So it can either log the row hash, means the set of rows, or the table, entire table. The log level mode is right. So when we do a delete, again it's row hash and table level, and it is on right again. So when we do an insert, it can be only row hash only, because we are doing a new insert, right? So it will be a row hash, not on the table level log. And it will be right again. So when you create, drop, or modify the database, so it will be exclusive. Again, for the table also, it will be exclusive. Right? Got this?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now to the next slide. So this is the logging summary, like logs that are compatible with each other can share access to objects simultaneously. Okay. For example, it doesn't matter if no 1 or 1,000 users want to read an object. Like even if 1,000 users are reading, they can all do at the same time, right? But Teradata will not allow a user to change the table while the users are reading it. So this again prevents the database corruption. So we'll see this compatibility, logs compatibility. So,
Okay.
yeah.
You're saying when users are reading, what operation cannot do?
You can't modify. You can modify the objects we see here, right? Like create or modify the database or the table, alter the table. Those won't be able to perform.
Okay.
Got that, right? So user to change the table means, like if you want to alter a column, or you want to alter a variable type, in that case, it won't happen. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see about this compatibility of these logs. So first one is exclusive. So when we have an exclusive log, no concurrent access is allowed. Like when you have the exclusive, no other logs, like read, write, or access can be applied on that object. And coming to the right, like no concurrent read, write, and exclusive logs are allowed, which means you can have the access log when you have the write log. And coming to the read log, no concurrent write and exclusive logs are allowed. So again, here you can have the access log. And when you have the access log, no exclusive logs are allowed, which means you can either have a write or read log simultaneously. Okay, so below is the pictorial representation of the same. So we see there is a request coming on. Okay, so if you have a exclusive log, okay, then only that will be granted, and the remaining all will be blocked, which means it is in waiting queue. Okay, if you have a write log, then the access log alone will be granted. Like you can simultaneously write, and then access log can be granted permission. So remaining all exclusive write and read logs will be on queue. In the sense, it will be blocked in the system. waiting for this session to complete. So again, if we see the read one, read access and access logs can be applied simultaneously. Write and exclusive should be queued. And when it comes to access, you can have write, read, and access logs, and only this exclusive log is queued. For the try. Any doubts in this types of logs?
No.
So we are talking about this locking modifier, right? So this locking modifier is it's a feature which through which we can modify the logs, default logs. So the logs are placed automatically by Teradata. Still, users can place logs themselves, and this is called as a locking modifier. So usually we'll be using this locking modifier for having the access log for the usual case. So that's why when you create a view, right? So we would recommend to have the access log, like replace view as a locking row for access, and then you have the select part. So in the production environment, it won't be going into blocking. So when you have the access log, either it is no writing or reading or anything, it will get the out. Okay, so here in this case, for example, when a user decides they want to read data and they don't want to wait on write logs, okay, then they can specifically state this locking modifier, and they can lock the table for access and read the data in the table. Okay. So any log may be upgraded by user, but only the read log can be downgraded to an access log.
Okay.
So this is the syntax I was talking about, like locking employee table for access, and then you will do the select. In this case, right, it won't, if we don't have this locking modifier, right? So the first line, if you don't have this, then this will normally go to a read log, right? So in this case, we are.
But read log won't cause any issue, right? Why?
It won't cause any issue.
To
Okay, consider a scenario. So we have this employee table, right? So there is a ETL going on this employee table. Okay, so we come here. There is a write operation going. That is either delete.
Okay.
So in that case, if you see the second line here, you see here, when the write operation is happening, only access log will be granted. Read log will be queued, write log will be queued, and exclusive log will be queued, right? So in this scenario, you consider write operations happening in this table. So if you don't put this locking employee table for access this line, so what will happen? It will go for a read log by default, right? And since there is another operation running on this, so it will be on the blocks state, means it will be on the queue waiting for this ETL operation to complete on this table. To avoid that, yeah, we are placing this access log. So you see, for access, you can have a write or read or access simultaneously. And that. Is that clear?
Yes.
So there is also an option for there is an option called no wait, which you can include in the locking modifier. Let's see what this is about. So when a no wait is used, right, if the lock request cannot be responded immediately, the transaction will get aborted. Okay, so in case you are asking for a exclusive log on a table, but there is other options like read and writes are going on. So in that case, if you don't have this no wait option, it will go for a queue. But when you specify this no wait, right, it will automatically get aborted immediately. It won't wait for wait in the queue. Okay.
Okay.
So this no wait option is used when it is not desirable to have the request wait for the resources. The same thing. Okay. So no wait option is an excellent way to avoid waiting on the conflict logs. Same thing. Okay, use the locking modifier with no wait. So we'll see if we have an example here. So locking this HRDB employee table for read access, and we have this no wait. So in that case, if there is already any logs present on this table, right, it will fail with this error code 7423 object already logged and no wait transaction aborted. Okay.
No, what is the use of this one actually?
This
No wait option?
No wait, right? Like if you don't want your query to be running for long hours, like you submit a query and it is in the blocking for more than 5 years or 6 years until the operations get completed. So you don't want to do that. So in that case, you can put a no wait.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, it is the option if you don't want to have the queries in waiting. So you can check like you can run it and see if there is no logs on the table, it will complete. If there is any logs, it will abort. So as simple as that. So mostly would be using this. No one will be using it because even if it is in waiting, they need that query to be completed. That would be the mindset. But there's an option available. So, right. This is about the logs. So I have this is what I have for today. So next session will be seeing about this data production, fallback, and those kind of things.
Okay.
So these stats and logs, if you have any query, you can clarify.
Can you please explain the scenarios like if something like write lock is placed, do you want to forcibly stop the query or remove any such instances? You need to remove the lock. Maybe in case of a multi-load, it fails. We need to release the lock and release mload or something like that, right? So can you just explain the scenarios where DBA will involve releasing logs and interrupting them?
Sure. Okay. So in these normal cases of read and writes, we won't involve much, and we also can't do anything because these are automatically set, right? But we can involve in other logs, like let me put it in this slide on this will be useful for you. So this let's other logs, let's say. So the first one is hurt log. Okay, so this log will happen. This will happen when you run an archival job. When you take a backup on a table or object, right? So in that case, this log will be applied on that table.
Okay.
Okay. So no other operations will be allowed until this hot log is released. Okay. Will
Okay.
be placed when there is a archival running. Okay, so there is some scenarios. This hurt log will be there. when suppose consider a scenario where your backup got failed in between. Okay, so in that case, the hurt log will remain on the table, blocking all the other jobs. So you need to release the logs manually in that case. Okay, so whenever yeah,
Okay.
or backup videos occurs. So this can be either due to bar systems. It can be any reason. It can fail in between, right? So in that case, you need to release the log manually by passing this SQL. Okay, release log database name dot table name all comma over, right? So this will release the logs on this hurt logs on the table. Okay.
Okay.
So when you see a blocking in the viewpoint stating that it is caused by a net backup by user or something, so in that case you can check whether the backup is running. If the backup is running, it's okay. It's valid to have the hurt log on that. If no backups are running but still the jobs are there, then something might have failed. Then you need to release the logs manually. Okay. So this detail you can get it from the viewpoint itself, right? It will be showing when you go to the blocking session, right? It will show you like this database and table is logged, right? Net backup. So you can take it from there. Okay. So the next log will be fast load log. So fast load. Okay, as fast load will be happening on an empty table, right? So whenever fast load logs happen, you need to show table, and then you need to collect the DDL. Okay. Similarly, we'll do show stats. So on table, and we'll collect that stats. So basically what we'll do in the fast load, right? We can't remove it manually by passing the query. So in that case, we'll collect these details like table DDL and the stats DDL, and then we will drop the table and then recreate it. Okay.
Okay. No, there is no option for releasing log in fast load.
You can do that. Like you can run an empty script, fast load script on that table. It will get released. But usually in production they have predefined jobs, right? So they won't be going and creating empty jobs and all because that needs a CR again. So usually they will come to us and we'll be collecting this detail. We'll drop and declare. That would be the easy method.
Okay. Okay.
Open recreate, and then we'll run the stats again. Okay. So since this is a fast load, it will be always happening on a empty table, right? So there won't be any impact to the data.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
That's the reason we do this. And next log will be mlog. So it comes to mload log. So mload. So here, let me tell one more thing. identify whether it's a fast load or a multi-load. Okay, so when you, if they come up with a scenario where the table is locked, so you can just do a select star from the table name, in the table name. So it will give you the error to be select fail. Okay, table is being loaded. Okay, this is the error message which you will get. So you can understand from here that fast load is happening. Okay.
Okay.
So when it comes to M load, you will get like when you run a select, the result would be select fail, table is being M loaded. So identify easily whether it's a fast load or empty load. Is there a message for M load? So in this case, right, you can release the log by running this command like release mload log on this db name, db table name. Comma in apply. Okay, so this will release the mload log.
Okay.
So with these errors, right, we need to identify like which log. Mistakenly, we shouldn't drop the multi-set table, means multi-load table involved. So mostly these are the logs you will be coming across on day-to-day management. And you not any doubt in this? No. Hello. Anjanath, you there? Hello. Anjanath? Can you hear me?
Yeah, tell.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay. So this is about this fast load and end load. Okay. So anything else you need about these logs?
Okay.
That's all I have for today. we can
Oh,
go
okay,
through. Yeah, can go through and can let me know if you have any doubts on those.
okay, sure. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
okay.
Then
Thank you,
we'll
Ashwin.
meet tomorrow. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.